Hello. My name is Adrian Younge, and I'm an artist that primarily makes music. And I'm here to talk to you all today about mosaics. So how do we define mosaics? Mosaics are patterns comprised of various components that come together to create a unique piece of art. Mosaics are beautiful for many reasons. If we see a mosaic, we see an image comprised of many different little things that all kind of come together to create something unique and novel. What I really want to focus on today is talk about how we could apply the notion of mosaics to our life. We are all individual works of art, comprised of different, various experiences. And these experiences all kind of come together and guide us in our life. So I'll say it again. We should perceive ourselves as mosaics because we are all comprised of diverse experiences that come together and illuminate the paths that are actually afforded to us in life. So, if we are mosaics, we want to be beautiful. We want to kind of put all these pieces together, and we want to make a beautiful statement. To me, that statement is achieving your goals in life and doing what you want to do and being happy. So again, we are all individual works of art that are comprised of diverse experiences. These diverse experiences harbor diverse skills and ability. These diverse skills and ability illuminate the paths that you are afforded in life, help you to become who you want to be. And they do that by putting you in the position to exceed expectations of those that can provide you opportunities. So it's our job in creating our own mosaic to curate these experiences in order to be our best. So in applying this concept of mosaic to our lives, there's three areas that we should look at. Vision, what the actual components are, and how we bond all of this together. So vision. We have to know what we want to be. If you want to be an engineer, you go to school, get your degree, try to find an engineering job. You got to know what you want to be. Then you have to think about the various components that come together to help you to get there. What are those elements? What are those experiences? What experiences must you engage in? What must you go through in order to develop the ability to exceed expectations when those opportunities arise for you? And then after you figure out what your vision is, what your goals are, what these experiences are that you should engage in, you need to make sure you can harbor the strength and endurance to finish. You need to prove to yourself that you could be anything that you want to be. For me, when I graduated high school, I said, I want to be a musician. I want to be an artist. But I wanted to be an educated artist. I wanted to be an academic. So that meant I had to go to school, make sure I read my books, put my work in, be diligent. But at the same time, I had to figure out how I could live off of creating music. So for me, it was a very undefined and nebulous path. something difficult to really ascertain. I remember talking to my mother when I graduated from high school and talking to her about, yeah, I want to get my education, I want to do that, but I really want to like be a hip hop producer. I want to do that. She's like, well, what are you supposed to do? I was like, you just trust me. You just trust me. I don't know. You just trust me. And at that point, what I really realized was that I had to engage in so many different areas. I had to do so many different things. I had to create a pattern of diversified interests in order for me to put myself in the position to exceed people's expectations, the gatekeepers' expectations, when these opportunities would arise for me to actually be a musician. So I graduated high school in '96 on a Thursday. I remember this. I remember this because I started Cal Poly Pomona. I started college on a Monday. So I said, I'm going to go real hard. I'm going to finish this education thing, and I'm going to start by going to summer school. And I just started putting the work in. And I started doing something that I consider self-investment, where I'm proving to myself that I could do many things. Anything I say I want to do, I'm proving to myself that I can do it by just doing it and being diligent. I'm circumventing obstacles, people that are around me that aren't really trying to make any moves up, people that aren't really trying to be progressive. I'm getting those people out of my life. I'm working. And at the same time, I started producing. I got an MPC 2000 sampler, a little cassette recorder, and I started making hip-hop beats. I wanted to be like the luminaries that I looked up to, like, RZA from Wu-Tang, or Tribe Called Quest, or Souls of Mischief, all these people. I wanted to be like them, so I started putting in the work. And in sampling records to make these beats, I started to discover that I actually liked the music I was sampling more than the derivative music I was making from sampling this music. And I started to have this attention to detail. I started locking into a time frame, 68 to 73. The music that was created at that time, the cinematic music that was created between that time, is something that I just began to have a real affinity with. So at that time, when I was in college and making music, when I was engaged in these diverse experiences, I realized that I didn't just want to be a producer, I wanted to be a composer as well, which is even a harder thing to try to get into. But I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to put the work in and do it. So I graduated in a little over 2.5 years from college because I went to summer school and I went hard. I didn't let anything stop me. And then when I did that, I realized that I could do anything, because when I was telling other people I was going to do it, people didn't believe me. I did that. And it's one of those experiences that helped me realize that if I continue to self-invest, I could be better than anybody. That's the perspective. I could be better than anybody. This is me painting my mosaic. These are my various components that are working together to mold me into who I want to become. Graduated. When I graduated, I really had an inclination. I said, if I want to compose, if I really want to compose for film, if I really want to do the kind of music I really want to do, I need to learn how to play instruments. I never had any formal training, nothing like that. So what I did was just start buying instruments. And I promised myself that within a year, I was going to learn how to play a multitude of instruments and create a fake soundtrack to a fake Italian score that came out in 1968. And I called it Venice Dawn. And I said, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to get it out there, and people are going to hear it, and hopefully something happens. Well, while I was doing that, I was also in law school. And I also had a full-time job as a contract administrator and moved up to contract manager at Boeing. So I had a full-time job, 9 to 5. After that, I was in law school. And then in the evenings, I was teaching myself how to make music. All of these different experiences were testing me. And in order for me to succeed, I had to make sure that these were all glued together. And what the glue was for me is having the strength and endurance to do it all. And also having the ability to finish. There's nothing I've ever started that I didn't finish. So I kept proving this to myself, like, damn, I could really do whatever I believed I could do. It just kept happening for me because I just didn't stop. So I released my soundtrack just by myself. At this time, I'm in the evenings, while I'm still going to law school, I'm still working full-time, while I'm still dabbling in instruments, I said, you know, if I really want to get into scoring, I should probably become a filmmaker. So I started documenting the culture I loved, which is hip-hop. I started making documentaries. I started producing, directing, and editing. And through editing, I started to develop this amorous relationship to detail. I put myself in a position where I was separating myself from ineptitude and inability. My eyes were getting very sharp. I showed myself that I could finish school early. I could get a doctorate degree. I proved that I could score, because at least I made a fake score. Then I made documentaries. I went into film festivals, and I traveled and was getting mad love. But nothing really happened yet. The only thing that I did was help to compose my mosaic. Around 2007, one of my very close friends, Scott Sanders, his director, he said, hey, there's this movie I'm doing with a fellow named Michael Jai White, and it's like an old blaxploitation 70s type movie. You should come in and try to like be a part of this with us. I was like, yo, that sounds dope. Yeah, man, if you could probably try to edit this and you could probably do the score. And I was like, yeah, I got to try to make this happen. So what we did, we hooked up, me, Scott, Mike Jai White, and a fellow named Byron Mins. And we got Super 8 cameras and shot a little trailer, shot a little 70s trailer. And I edited the trailer, and we sent it to a fellow named John Steingard, a producer at Ars Nova. And he watched it, and he said, yo, this is pretty cool, but why you guys sending me this old 70s trailer? And I was like, nah, that's not an old 70s trailer. That's a movie we're trying to do right now. On the spot, he said, I'm in, and we got financing to make a movie called Black Dynamite. Now, at that moment, because of my diverse experiences, I put myself in the position to exceed expectations when opportunities arose. All of my diverse experiences turned into abilities that I needed to succeed. So I was an editor of a feature film. I was a composer of a feature film that is now considered one of the best top 50 comedies of all time. And that served as a launch pad for my career. So again, we're all individuals. We're individual works of art that are comprised of various experiences that, when they work together, they help to illuminate the paths we are afforded in life. And if you curate and cultivate these experiences, they could harbor abilities. They could give you what you need to accomplish nebulous goals like being a musician, being a film composer. Also during this time, on my academic side, I was privileged with becoming a law professor. So I got to teach contract law, community property, contracts. I got to be the academic I wanted to be. And I got to be the artist I wanted to be. And then everything just started coming to me. So how I was able to separate myself from ineptitude was I had confidence, and I was absolutely fearless, to the point where I developed this thing where I just didn't care what people thought about me at all. Because I started, my mosaic said, create things for an audience in your head. And ask that audience in your head if it's okay, if it works out. And if they say it's cool, it's cool. And that's how I've been living. That's how I live my life. And because of that, I just don't care what people think about me. But it's that confidence and that perseverance that has continued to give me opportunities I otherwise wouldn't have. And these opportunities came from me finishing all these experiences. I got to work with the people I looked up to when I was in college. What's actually better than that is that I actually got to consider these people I looked up to my dear friends. And I got to cross the line that my mother never really knew if I would be able to cross. But it's because I believed in myself, and I applied the concept of mosaics to my life. The last thing one of the last things I just did with one of my dear friends, member of the best hip-hop group of all time, Ali Shaheed Muhammad and Tribe Called Quest, we were afforded the privilege to score Marvel's Luke Cage. And if I didn't make my fake soundtracks, I wouldn't even know what to do, to be honest with you. I had to prove to myself that I could do this. And hopefully we get Emmys from this. Hopefully we get accolades from this. But you know what? It really don't matter. Because all I wanted to do is put myself in the position to win. I wanted to cultivate a lifestyle for myself that was based on me having the strength and endurance to just win. So what I want to say to you guys is realize your worth. Have a vision. Look at yourself as a work of art. Curate the experiences that you have in life so that it puts you in a position to exceed others' expectations when opportunities arise. Believe in your goals. These are the components. These are the components that make you who you are. And have the strength and the endurance to finish things that you start. If you need to be the type of person to tell somebody that you really respect that you're going to do something, do that, since you may fear embarrassment. Do whatever you need to do to finish things. And don't let anybody ever stop you from what you want to do. Because you create your own mosaic. You illustrate it. We are the bricolage of our life experiences. And I'm still painting my mosaic. And I'll leave you with this. I won't be finished painting my mosaic until I leave this earth. And I'm very happy. So I hope this meant something to even one of you. Thank you for your time. My name is Adrian Younge. All right.